welcome back to my channel and happy Sunday! You would not believe it is spring because it is raining and it's dark, hence the different setup, because I feel there's about 4 different setups I have in my house because it's quite small. I have to kind of circulate depending on the weather, so if it's really bright there's a couple of rooms, or like by my bookshelf that's really cluttered, so it's gradually circulating and showing you all corners of the house. But yeah, today I am here in this little corner, slightly backlit, so apologies if it's a little bit weird, but it is rainy outside, it's dark and there is no light, so this is the best space that we can put a camera and film, so apologies for that. But today I'm doing kind of a favourites, what I've been loving recently, because although it is the beginning of the month and not the end of last month, which was April, I thought I would update you on things I've been loving, whether that's beauty, lifestyle, some places in London that I've really been loving, or just some other random things. Line of duty. So yeah, let's get going. First things first, I'm going to start with beauty because there are a few different things that I've been talking about. Less on my blog and more on things like Instagram Live, because I've done a couple of those. I primarily kind of do like makeup tutorials. I did a couple where I was cooking, one with Joe and one with my dad, which was really fun, but it's more beauty stuff that I kind of like talking about on there. So the first thing I'm going to mention is this primer from Armani, and this is one of my favourite primers that I've ever used. I'm not really a primer kind of person, namely because I don't really see the benefit of it. Sorry. But I never really know, I don't know, I never really feel it making my makeup last longer, if that makes sense. Whereas with this one, I really feel it helps add longevity to a makeup look, which is obviously the most important thing. And this one is called the Armani Primer Day Long Skin Perfector for Trouble Zones. A few weeks ago, I actually went into their pop-up in Covent Garden. I had my makeup done, which was really cool. And they popped this on, and I usually get quite a dry T-zone, and they popped this on underneath a really beautiful dewy base. And everything lasted, and I went out with my mum in the evening, I went out for dinner, got home, and my makeup just sat perfectly, and I was like, what's different here? And I'm pretty sure it has something to do with this, and I've been using it ever since. It doesn't cake, it doesn't look drying, it's just really, really good. I kind of call it my makeup stay-on glue, because it applies, I don't know, it's very creamy and moisturising, but it looks a bit like PVA, so I feel like it keeps everything stuck on. Definitely not the right way of selling this, but anyway, it's an amazing product, great primer, and I really, really love it. So the next thing that I've been a huge fan of is this little lipstick. This is from Lipstick Queen. It's one of their spring ones. Let's see the name. It is Morning Sunshine. So lovely. And the thing I love about this is it kind of adapts to your lip colour, which I think is the coolest thing ever. I don't really have any other lipsticks like this, so I was just like, whoa, mind blown. But the reason it's very cool is it's yellow. I mean, mind blowing. And then you apply it and it comes out like corally, pinky, and yeah, amazing. It's just so beautiful, really lovely pink shade. I love the way it kind of works with my natural lip colour. Just a really nice summery colour. I find it quite hard to find a nice pink shade that suits me, and because I'm quite pale. This is great, absolutely love this, so big thumbs up for Lipstick Queen. The next product I've really been loving is a beauty product, and it is this Miu Miu fragrance. I hadn't actually tried any of their fragrances until recently, and I was very kindly sent this to try, and I am absolutely a huge fan of the brand anyway. I think they do the most cool designs, prints, and I hadn't really ever tried any of their fragrances, so I gave this a go and I absolutely love it. Let's give it a little spritz. It's really light, very clean scent. It's quite florally, but not in a sweet or kind of musty way. It doesn't have like a nana floral scent. It's quite sharp, but citrusy at the same time. It's just a really great clean spring scent, and I've absolutely been loving wearing it. As you can see, there's a little dent made in it, so definitely become a nice one. It's the kind of perfume that I've put on and I've walked out and my mum's been like, what's that? I mean, that was a bit of an exaggerated sniff then, but blocked up hay fever nose. But my mum loves this, and yeah, it's the kind of thing that we're going to have to be fighting from. But I absolutely, the bottle's great too. I mean, look at that. I did actually write about it on my blog. I did a spring beauty post, so tell a lie, there is a little bit about that there. So if you want a bit more descriptive detail that's a bit less, yeah, it's quite nice, then you can head there. It'll all be there. There's some other beauty favourites in there too, so without further ado, let's move on to fashion. The first thing that I have got so much use out of over the past few weeks is this bag. It's another basket bag. We've been talking about basket bags a lot recently, and they are everywhere. It's funny because I had a couple of basket bags I bought ages and ages ago, one from Beyond Retro, one I got last year for my birthday, and you didn't really see many other styles like it, whereas this year you cannot move for baskets. They're everywhere, so there were straw things coming at me left, right and centre, but I picked this up. I've seen a lot of bags similar to this which are a lot bigger, kind of more beachy. I saw this in a shop in Brighton called the Tiny Street Store, I think. It's on the corner by the lanes, and This was in the window and I was like, oh, that's quite a cool shape, and it's quite a nice size. You can fit an awful lot in it. And although it's probably a little bit scratchy when you try and like fish things out, like when I go in for my keys, I'm a bit like, oh, this is probably a health and safety issue. I really love this. It's a great summery bag. It really kind of adds like a vintage spin to quite a modern look. So if I'm wearing a t-shirt and jeans, adds a little bit of something, you know, a bit 70s, a bit bohemian, a bit, you know, Jane Birkin. So really love that. I've seen a lot of the actual Birkin baskets going around. Haven't succumbed to those yet, but I do really love this. This fits an awful lot in it, as I mentioned. Although the handles are a little bit small, so you can't quite fit your arm, so you can't have it kind of in the crook of your arm, which, I don't know, it's not, but it does mean you just hold it properly and probably gives you better posture or something like that. But absolutely love that, so it's one of my favourite spring bags at the moment. Next, I am moving on to shoes. The first pair of shoes I bought recently are from Oliver Bonus. Now hear me out, because I absolutely love Oliver Bonus's fashion. They have a really amazing selection and it's all beautifully made, all the prints are kind of in-house, it's really well designed. And I went in the store recently kind of just looking at their prints and the homeware, and I saw they had some shoes and I was just like, hang on a second, have they always had shoes in here? But I think this is a new thing. I saw these sandals sitting and I was just like, they are so gorgeous. I love the little tie detail. It kind of feels quite girly and feminine, but it's got this kind of really beautiful pastel pink and this little wooden block heel, which feels kind of almost a bit Scandi, quite minimal, but I really love it because it's the kind of thing you could wear with summer dresses, cropped jeans, and they're really, really bloody comfortable as well. I absolutely love them. And I was just like, I didn't even know they did shoes, so I was really impressed with these. They also had some really gorgeous like tan suede crossover sandals, so I definitely recommend checking out their shoe selection because it blew me away and I've already got quite a lot of use out of these, so yeah. Kudos. So the next thing I'm going to talk about are these shoes, which are my favourite espadrilles. They look a little bit, I've tried to keep them neat because I'm not very good at like bowing them. I've been wearing espadrilles a lot recently. I've bought a couple of pairs in the past. I bought a pair from ASOS and I bought a pair from another shop, I can't remember where, and they were quite reasonable, quite cheap, and they just weren't very comfortable in all honesty. And I've got quite wide feet, so I picked these up from Net-a-Porter and they are the brand Castaner. I feel like I might have spoken about these before, but these are possibly the most comfortable shoes that I have, which is quite hard to believe because they're a wedge and they're not typically what you'd call a comfortable shoe, but these are so, so wonderful. They have this really lovely kind of cotton front. They've got like a little bit of a leather lining and they've also got quite a small wedge, but they are so comfortable. They don't fall down my leg. And I just absolutely love them. I think I actually did mention them in a spring updates video because it's all coming back to me now, but I thought I'd mention them again in the favourites because I now have them in black as well. I bought them in black because I've just been wearing them so much, and now I'm eyeing up the cream pair, so should probably pull in the reins a little bit, but they're just a really great summer shoe. Like, great with midi dresses, really cool with jeans and a nice white blouse. I think that's a very cool look. Absolutely been loving them. So those kind of two pairs of shoes are the shoes that I'm going to be wearing all spring, so warning you in advance. The last clothing item I'm going to be talking to you about is this top from Monkey. It's less the top and more the brand in general, but this is a recent thing I bought from them, so I thought I'd hold it up to illustrate my point. Monkey have been releasing some amazing pieces lately. This is just one of them. This was about £10, which is really super reasonable. And it's a really cool, lovely pastel striped t-shirt, which I think is really cool, quite 70s. So I picked that up. I also picked up a swimsuit from them recently. Their selection on ASOS is incredible. I have these really cool like Kurt Cobain style white glasses that I picked up from them. Yeah, the swimming costume that I was saying about, which is like a pink polka dot number. I'll link them below, but they've just got the coolest summer collection. They have lots of cool prints, lots of cool designs. It's just a really playful, fun brand, which I really like. They always seem to have everything sorted. Great jeans, I love their jeans and their dungarees, things like that. So I really recommend checking them out if you haven't heard of them before, but I'm sure if you shop on ASOS you are more than familiar with them, but I definitely recommend giving them a watch because they got some cool things happening. Moving on to TV now. TV wise, I'm not a big television person. Anyone can vouch for me on this. I'm really behind, really lazy with catching up on things. Still need to get around to watching Game of Thrones, and every time it's been delayed I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I could finally catch up and be up to date, and it's just not going to happen. It's really not. Recently I was introduced to Line of Duty, and since that point I have become obsessed. I've only watched I think the last 4 episodes or 3, like not even that many. I started this current series, I think it's series 3, halfway through and became completely infatuated with it, which is so funny because I think if you really know the programme, you know that there's 3 series, everything kind of links in, there's a real story, but What I loved about it was the fact you could literally watch 3 episodes and know exactly what was going on, get really into it, and I recommended it to quite a few people because the last episode was at the beginning of the month, I think it was the 30th of April, and I was just like, if you haven't seen it yet, don't worry, watch the last 3, you're gonna love it. And I've just been obsessed with it. Like, honestly, it's just such a good show. If you're into kind of drama, police dramas, anything the BBC does, that kind of thing, it's amazing. The cast is fantastic. I really recommend giving it a watch. It's quite easy to follow, even though, I mean, I say that, it is easy to follow, but there's just so many twists and turns that you're just like, hang on, I thought it was, nope, nope, and it's just, yeah, it's amazing. Not very good at articulating that, definitely don't work for the Radio Times, but yeah, if you do want a new TV show to watch, definitely recommend giving that a good viewing. Last but not least, I thought I would offer in a little London favourite because I don't really ever talk about the places I love in London, and on my blog I have a lot of city guides, a lot of London recommendations, so I thought I'd start introducing this into my favourites, like a place I've really loved this month. And one place that I really loved visiting was a place called Llewellyn's. It's just opened in South East London in a place called Herne Hill, if you're not familiar with London. And it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a really beautiful restaurant. They have quite a small kind of seasonal menu, but it does great things. It does a great brunch, good cakes. The decor is absolutely gorgeous, and it's not too far to get to. I mean, if you're South London or Central London it won't be, but if you're North, I think you're going to probably be like, oh, it's so far. But I promise you it's worth the trip. It's literally by Herne Hill Station, which is two stops out of Victoria, so it's really gorgeous. Definitely recommend it. I did do a whole blog post about it if you want some more pictures, so I will pop that below because that will probably illustrate it a little bit better. But yeah, I really recommend it if you're after somewhere new to visit. That is a big thumbs up from me, and yeah, I'll start doing this more weekly because, or more regularly even, not weekly, but there's lots of places I've been loving. I don't really ever talk about them on here. It's very much for my blog and for my blog only, so yeah, let me know if you'd like to see more place or travel recommendations because I think that could be quite cool for like a little series or something, so let me know. And that is that. I really hope you enjoyed watching what I've been loving this month. Let me know what you've been loving. Are there any books or TV shows I should finally get around to watching or reading? Any good bands I've missed out? Any cool shops? Let me know, fill me in. You are a fountain of knowledge after all, so please do keep me updated and I will keep you updated. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you next week. Bye bye!